Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are going to be talking about the Garmin Instinct 2. This is, let's see here, after 3 days with it, I believe. Let's see, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, so 3 days with it, and I kind of wanted to give a little bit more of a, I want to say review because I haven't really used a whole lot of it. I'm in Chicago, it's cold, and haven't had a chance to go biking with it or anything kind of adventurous. But just 3 days of wearing it, playing with the menu, kind of what I think. So here we go. So first thing first, let's talk about the pros. So this thing is just super comfortable. I mean, this is like the most comfortable I feel like watch that Garmin, or at least I've owned. Um, you know, compared to the Fenix, I mean, it's just like it's a night and day difference in comfort. I feel like this is just so much heavier. This just like, it doesn't like jiggle on your wrist. It doesn't like, you know, weight or shift or anything. It's just a super comfortable watch. It's like a G-Shock Square, really, just a featherlight watch. So really cool. The biggest thing I've actually taken appreciation to. So when Garmin announced that the Fenix 7 is going to have touchscreen, even though I love the button operation, where I thought the touchscreen would be helpful, obviously maps, but this doesn't have it, so not a moot point. But just kind of the configuration. So when you first get your watch, you got to go through and kind of get everything set up, especially the activities. So I always like to go and organize all my activities, create my own data screens, and it's just like, trying to do it with the buttons. It's like, it's time consuming. It's doable, time consuming. So the first thing I noticed that was really beneficial is that now being able to do this through your phone is a huge time saver. So now you can go on your phone, you can edit your data screens, shift them around. It's just a huge time saver now. So definitely like that. As far as the touchscreen goes, to be honest, like, I mean, it's a personal preference, but I don't think I'd ever use a touchscreen for anything other than just kind of getting it set up, just because I hate all the smudges, like even this one sometimes just will, get smudgy. So I don't know. I guess I'm kind of OCD about having a very clean display. So I don't think would even use a touchscreen for kind of day-to-day stuff. Speaking of screens, so here's an observation I made. So I bought a screen protector, and this is the Instinct 1 version, but they're the same size, so I figured it shouldn't be any issues. And what I realized is that while the Instinct screen does fit, it's a perfect size, this screen is not flat. There's a slight kind of concaveness to it, because this will not sit on it. I mean, this is glass, and when I put it on, it just will not sit flat like the middle touches. So if you put it on, if you can see it will not make, like, the middle will connect, but you can't, the sides will not stick even when I press. Let me see here. And if I press, it will not stick. And I went through 3 of these because I couldn't get it to stick. I even tried applying a little moisture just to see that would seal it. So that leads me to believe that this screen is not flat. It has a little bit of a curvature to it, and I mean, I guess I would never notice it, but now that I feel like when I run my finger, I feel like I can kind of notice it. But I don't know, that's kind of frustrating, I guess, because now I gotta buy like one of those like plastic films, since those, to be able to handle that. And I know some people don't think you need the screen protector. I don't know. I just like screen protectors. I like a clean display, and if I scratched it, it would just drive me nuts. So these don't impact anything. You throw it on every couple months, switch it out, and you're to be that work. So I'm gonna have to get one of those plastic ones. So yeah, so the screen is flat, or not flat. The other kind of thing I've noticed about it, it's got a very strong vibration motor. I mean, it's almost like too strong. I wish there was a way you can kind of, adjust it. I went through the settings. I didn't see any way to adjust the kind of the vibration feedback. So it's a little on the stronger side. Like I like vibration feedback that you feel, not hear. And this one you can hear it vibrating. You know, it's almost like an audible alert. But those would be the only cons really I can think of. Is, I mean, it's nitpicking. This is a great watch. Now, comparing it to the Fenix, this is the Fenix 6 47mm Solar Pro. You know, the biggest thing I miss is kind of the large display, but the color. You know, that's gonna be the hardest thing to give up on the Fenix. And if I ever go back to the Fenix, it would be just for the color screen, to be honest, the bigger, larger color screen. And where I think it matters is looking at data. So, like for example, let's say you wanted to look at your sleep. That's a good one, right? So if I pull up sleep, I mean, you got all these graphs here, but I mean, can you tell what each one is? Let me see. How do I go back to the other one? There we go. So here's a graph. I mean, it's like trying to figure out which one's the awake and which one's the deep versus which one's the REM, which one's the light. I mean, this is for the most part. I mean, the amount of effort it would take to kind of decipher this, I would just look at my phone. Where, you know, you go on the Fenix. Let's see, will it show up on here? No, it doesn't have it on here because I didn't use it for sleep. But if we look at anything else that might have data on it, which I think there's anything up here, but I mean, I think you get the point. With the colors, it's just much easier to quickly kind of, you know, look at the data. So that's going to be probably the biggest con for me with this Instinct 2 is lack of the color screen. I mean, the size is kind of, you know, yeah, I missed the kind of the bigger size, but I think I can get used to this size, but it's just kind of the color screen. That's actually why I went back to the Fenix. So after I left the Fenix and picked up the Instinct 1 Solar, you know, I used it for several months, I loved it, but I just kept kind of missing that kind of that large screen. So I went back to it. So I don't know. We'll see how long I last. But I do like, that's the only thing I miss is just that. But the weight savings do make up for it. So it'll be interesting. And you know, I covered this in my last video. I always put these on these are the Fenix quick change bands because you can lay it flat. It's just much more kind of nimble versus kind of the stock ones. I think that would be pretty much, those are probably the only kind of talking points I really would have on. Otherwise, I mean, it's kind of what you would expect it to be. You know, no other surprises. I mean, it's just an easy wearing watch. There actually one more thing. So the other thing, and actually this is actually, I never even knew the Fenix had this. So I actually just discovered this when I was comparing the menus. But the Fenix, I don't know if this was some kind of a silent update or something. Yeah, let me find it. So I never knew this. Log HRV. Mine was on off this whole time. I actually just put it on now when I was comparing menus. But I don't know, when the heck, I mean, it wasn't there day one because I went through the menu, so this must have been added somewhere along the way that I missed it. But yeah, I've had this turned off the whole time. But when I go in here, because I'm like, wait a minute, is it off on here? This one doesn't have it. So, yes, I mean, I'm trying. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. And I will see you in a few weeks, and I'll give you kind of a longer review on this one. Take care.